All right, so every key in your guitar kind of tells its own story with unique melodic opportunities available in any given chord grip that belong to any given key. But today I kind of want to share with you kind of like a plot twist in the narrative of the great American acoustic guitar epic, and that is hidden inside the key of F. Chapter F. Welcome to Chapter F, everybody. And it only took a blind guy from North Carolina to figure this out. Today, let me show you Baby What You Gonna Do by Rev Gary Davis, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. What's up? My name is Kyle Orla. I teach folk guitar, fingerstyle stuff here on YouTube and over on Patreon, but I've also spent a huge part of my life, working life, just teaching guitar to the general public. And one big challenge for folks who haven't really taken the bait on like the folk guitar and fingerstyle thing is to give them a reason to learn all the keys. And that's a big reason why I started this series called Alphabetical Blues, where we look at the contextually important keys for the folk guitar. For us, that's A, B flat, C, D, E, E flat, and today it's F, the key of F, and the why. Alphabetical Blues is meant to be the why to the what, because it helps have context for learning each keys, and it's through this process of learning tunes that gives you the context to know what makes each key different from one another and why one key might be worth checking out over the next, depending on the given tune you're working on. So let's let Rev Gary Davis show us what makes the key of F so special with Baby What You Gonna Do. So the key of F, like always, let's set this up in two ways. We'll do the actual chord shapes in a second, but let's talk about what actually makes the key of F different from the other keys you may have checked out. And I'm betting a lot of you haven't really checked out the key of F too much on your own, so what are the chords in the key of F? So check out the circle of fifths here in the key of F while I take a sip. We got F, we got B flat, and we got C. You probably already know F and C. If you've been following along the series, you probably know B flat by now too, of course. But if you don't know B flat, I got good news for you. We don't have to use it. There's no B flat in this tune. It's just F and C. Two chord tune. Now there's a very distinct reason of why there's no B flat chord, and it will reveal itself as we learn the tune. But for now, just realize it's a two chord tune, F and C. Now I gotta mention, I know there's a lot of you out there who are gonna be like, well, I already know F and C. It's in the key of C. What's the difference? It's the same two chords. I'll just stick with the key of C. And I could give you, a few music theory talking points, but, if a picture is worth 1,000 words, a video is worth, it's just a bunch of pictures, so what I got, 24 frames per second, is that what it is? 24,000? Is that right? Anyway, let's just learn through the video and you'll see why. Now the shapes of the song, as I mentioned, is just a two chord song, and these are the shapes he's using. We're doing an F chord, and he's using his thumb. We've talked a lot about this in the series already, but if this is somehow the first one you've checked out, good for you, checking out the key of F. You could use a bar chord, but you'll see in a second why that actually makes this song, well, it's not really even possible with this chord, to be honest. You're gonna wanna use this thumb over chord. And he does cover all 6 strings. You almost could just omit that first string if you wanted to, if that's too challenging, but something to shoot for is covering all 6 strings. The other chord he uses is a C chord and a C7 chord. Now we talked about already that there's no B flat chord, which makes the tune more simple harmonically, but it's because the melody is so complex melodically that we omit that 4 chord. And you'll see what I mean. But I just want you to get a feel for that, for these 2 chords, because it's good stuff to know. It's good stuff to have when you understand where the gravity is going. Your ear is the compass, right? The lines and the melodies, those are all just different routes to get to the same place, which is home. But your ear knows where to go, so you just have to trust it. So the melody, we're going to rely on open strings to really bring out the melody of this song. So we've got this first chord shape, that's an F. Our first melody is going to go like this with our open D string. Now that's pretty challenging to do. Like, you really got to be on the tips of your fingers so you don't deaden that open D string. But the line by itself is just this. And you could just omit brushing that 5th string and just finger it like this. It does make it harder to get to that C7 though. So as I think of it, you could even lift up these two fingers at the same time. You could lift them both up. It actually kind of sounds cool. It's probably the easiest way to do it too. Now the second part of this tune makes me so happy. It makes me so happy because he's doing things that most people who like the blues and the blues guitar would tell you not to do, would tell you to avoid at all costs. And Rev is doing it like a boss, man. So he's playing the open B string, and he's playing the open E string on an F chord. Now those by themselves, without any other melody notes, are this. And what he plays is this. Oh my God, there's so much cool stuff. So you've got this hammer-on pull-off thing that is only possible with this chord grip. Right? You couldn't do that on a G chord. It wouldn't work the same way. Right? You have to do this to get that sound. That's hard. No one's going to do that. You couldn't do it with this bar chord. I mean, you could. It's just so hard, but it's very natural. It's so easy. You just lift up your first finger. And then you've got this pull-off on the first string to that same hammer on the B string. So you have this sharp 11 sound, right? If you know the notes on your guitar, if you're savvy that way, there is a B flat here, right? And it's really just working ourselves up chromatically, right? It's almost more of just like a chromatic line, or coming out of the C7. Depends how you want to think about it harmonically. I don't hear him playing the C7 chord there, but he might be, and sometimes maybe he does. It does imply that chord though, so there is a B flat in a C7 chord, and then he's also pulling that open B string sound on the F chord. I know some of you out there might think of this more as like a flat 5 note, like leading to the 5, like a flat 5 leading to the natural 5. You could think of it that way. I'm not super picky about the language of these things. What I'm picky about is the sound. The sound of this song doesn't sound like a flat 5 like blues. No, it sounds very ethereal, very haunting. It sounds like the name of the mode that we're in right now is called Lydian. You can call it whatever you want, but that sound, that haunting sound, it's the sound of Lydian. And it's a beautiful sound. I think like most of the like Lord of the Rings stuff is in that mode, that sharp 4 mode. That's what we're doing right now. And there are tons of fiddle tunes, actually, contextually important tunes to the folk genre. Greek medley. I forget who does Greek medley. Google that one, YouTube that one. Greek medley is in the Lydian mode, a G Lydian on the fiddle. Clyde Davenport's Blackberry Blossoms, his version of that. I don't know what the key is, but it's in the Lydian mode as well. Tommy Jarrell has a banjo version of Reuben that uses the sharp 4. And again, the reason I think it's different from the bluesy flat 5 sound is just because it doesn't sound bluesy anymore, right? It sounds Lydian. I wish it had a different name, because that sounds like a scary name, but it also sounds like a very beautiful name. Was Rev channeling these tunes? Was he thinking of these tunes? Was he thinking Lydian? Or was he just finding opportunistic ways to mess with a chord shape that feels very comfortable? Or was it a combination of everything, of not being too preoccupied by genre names and conventions? It's up for none of us to decide. It's just what happened. Putting this all together can be quite the lift. That is why I transcribed the whole thing. It's over on Patreon with a slow play along with every other tune from the series of the Alphabetical Blues. And we only have one more left, the key of G. The key of G, and it's gonna be a good one because I've already got it figured out. Because, you know, I can't just do like a dumb tune for the last one, right? Like a standard key of G tune. So look for that. In the meantime, check out the Patreon and check out the entire series if you haven't yet. Get caught up. the rest of the month over on the Patreon will be dedicated to the key of F, because Rev Gary Davis played in the key of F a lot, not just this one-off tune. He actually understood the key of F, and then wouldn't it be cool if we did too? So check that out. Look for a long-form lesson in the key of F at the end of the month, and we will see you for the key of G.